Everybody knows the top name, but the real surprise is how weird the road to Olympic gold gets after that. Felix built 7 golds the hard way by staying elite for more than a decade. Her Olympic career stretched from Beijing 2008 to Tokyo 2020, which is ridiculous longevity for a sprinter. Giles already has 7 Olympic golds, and she did it in a sport where one mistake can blow up the whole week. 4 came in Rio, then she came back and added 3 more in Paris, which is a pretty brutal way to remind everyone she's still Simone Biles. Koslavska only needed 2 Olympics to reach 7 golds, and at Mexico City in 1968, she grabbed 4 of them in 1 Games, which is about as efficient as Olympic greatness gets. Jacqueline was a medal machine in the old Soviet gymnastics era. At Rome, 1960 alone, he somehow won 4 golds, 2 silvers, and a bronze, which barely sounds like one person's week. Bolt's gold total is 8, and all 8 are gold. The cleanest flex of all is this: he won the 100 and 200 at 3 straight Olympics, then made it look normal. Ray Uri's Olympic record is wonderfully strange, because his events don't even exist anymore. He went 8 for 8 in standing jumps, so his Olympic career was basically one long perfect exam. Carrington has quietly climbed into this club with 8 golds, which still doesn't get talked about enough. She won 3 in Tokyo and then did it again in Paris, and yeah, that's as much as it sounds. Biondi was one of those swimmers who could stack medals fast once the meet started rolling. Seoul 1988 was the big explosion. 5 golds in 1 Olympics, which is a week most athletes can't even imagine. Thompson's path is a perfect example of how relay depth can build an Olympic legend. She won golds at 4 separate games, which means she stayed in the mix for 12 years in a sport that usually chews people up fast. Kato's total sits at 8 golds, but the fun part is the mix. He had the team dominance, then added all-around titles too, so this wasn't just one event carrying the whole number. Birgit Fischer's number is 8, but the part people remember is the timeline. Her first Olympic gold came in 1980 and her last in 2004, which is not a career, that's a geological era in sport. Dahley was the face of cross-country skiing in the 1990s, and the gold count shows it. 8 Olympic titles in an endurance sport this punishing is just rude. Bjorn Dahlin turned biathlon into target practice and a cardio test at the same time. His wildest Olympic burst was Salt Lake 2002, where he won all 4 biathlon events on the program. Bjorgen didn't just win 8 golds. She kept piling on medals until the total reached 50. That's a lot of racing, a lot of snow, and basically 0 room for an off day. Lewis got to 9 golds by being great for a shockingly long time. The signature piece is the long jump, 4 straight Olympic titles, which is less a streak and more a hostile takeover. Spitz got to 9 golds, but 1 week is why he's still legendary. In Munich 1972, he won 7 golds, and every single one came with a world record, which honestly feels made up until you check it again. Nurmi's 9 golds came from distance running back when Olympic schedules were basically chaos. The craziest bit in Paris 1924, he won the 1,500 meters and then the 5,000 just 42 minutes later. Before Phelps, Latinina was the standard for Olympic medal absurdity. She entered 3 games and medaled in all 3 every time, which in gymnastics is just cartoon-level consistency. And then there's Phelps, way out on his own at 23 golds. My favorite way to frame it is this. Second place has 9, and he still beat that by 14, which is less a record and more a different species of Olympics.